sure to check out Agelessgeeks for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Max Factory Figma Fate Stay Night Lancer. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So we do of course get the basic style box when it comes to Figma. So we do get the window right there in the front of the box. On the top does say Max Factory warning, bloopity 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 blue. On the bottom here says Figma Lancer and some other stuff as well. And then here's the bottom of the box with a cool image of the figure. Then pretty much the same thing at the top, just a different image of Lancer there. And then the one side here does have another cool image of the figure. The other side also has another image of the figure. Then the back of it does show a bunch of pretty cool poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure to take a closer look at the coolest character that I think is from the Fate series. So I'm really glad they made a figure of him, and I don't know how to pronounce his name, that's why I'm not saying it. So I'm just calling him Lancer. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Max Factory absolutely killed it with this Lancer. They definitely could not have done any better of a job when it comes to the detail for this figure here. Now, the head sculpt or the face sculpts all turned out great. The hair sculpt looks fantastic. We get some nice shading all throughout it, and the sculpt of it turned out really nice as well. And you can see the ponytail is on a ball hinge, so you can articulate that. We have like the tie right there holding the ponytail together, and just very nice sculpt on the ponytail. I really dig the way that looks, so excellent job on the head sculpt there. We got his earrings and everything, so very cool looking. And then on the neck we do get the collar for his clothing or armor, and we get some armor around the neck, which looks dope. And I love the way the gray and the blue looks. Very clean paint all throughout the figure, and I can't tell if there's shading on the blue. I don't believe there is, but I could be mistaken. Like I said, really clean paintwork where the gray meets that that blue color there. We get some nice sculpt on like the muscle definition and stuff. The back turned out really good too. We do get the peg hole in case you want to peg the figure on the stand there. Then we do get the armor on the shoulders, which looks sick. And they are separate pieces, but you can articulate them a little bit to hide these shoulder joints. I know a lot of people won't like the look of these shoulder joints here. It kind of has a Realtek type look to it, so some people might not like that, but I love the way the armor looks on the shoulders there. The arms turned out really nice as well. Very nice sculpt and paintwork. And then these pieces around the wrists are separate pieces, so be careful when you swap the hands because they can pop off and you don't want to lose those. And then we do get like the belt piece, which is the crotch piece is a softer rubbery type plastic and a separate piece as well. As you can see there, the legs, we get some nice sculpt and paint details, some sculpted wrinkles on the pants there and stuff. Knee joints blend in really well on this figure. We do have double jointed knees, which I don't think I've seen on a Figma that I've ever owned. And the lower legs, nice sculpt and paint. And then we do get the boots, which have some armor on them as well, and very clean paintwork on them, and very nice sculpt also. And then the bottom, we do get a little bit of sculpt and paintwork. But overall, like I said, Max Factory absolutely killed it with this Lancer. They definitely could not have done any better a job when it comes to the detail. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Lancer is included with some pretty cool stuff, but some basic type of accessories. So what we do get first and foremost, we do get the Figma stand. We have the base, and then the arm, then we do have a little extension, and then they did include an extra wrist peg. I can't say this enough, but it's always a huge plus when a figure company includes extra wrist joints with their figures. So we do get that, and then we do get 4 interchangeable faces. And starting on the left, we do get a smiling, smirking type face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging. And then next to that one, we do get the same exact face, but he's winking with the right eye closed, the left one open. Then next to that, we get my favorite one, which is like a sadistic, smiling type face, and that one just looks so awesome. And then finally on the right there, we do get a yelling, screaming, angry type face, and we get some excellent sculpt and paint detail throughout all 4 faces, and it's very simple to swap them. I'll show you how to do that right now. And the way you swap Lancer's faces, you have to pull the front of his hair off or his bangs, and it just unpegs, and you do the same thing with the face. Take whichever new face you want to put on there, peg that in, and then take the front of the hair and peg that back on, and then there you go. As simple as that. And like I said, that face looks so freaking awesome. But we do get the 4 interchangeable faces, and then we also get his lance or spear, and this is definitely the coolest accessory with this figure. I love the red paint on this, but you do have to be careful when you have him grip onto it because it can rub off some of the paint. But the spear tip looks dope. It is sharp, so be careful of that. Very nice sculpt detail all throughout it, especially all throughout the handle there. And the way you get him to grip onto it, you just unpeg it right here and then slide whichever gripping hand on. And then there you go. That's how you have him grip onto his lance. So we do get that. And then we finally get 10 alternate hands with a hand rack. And starting on the top right here, we do get a pair of fists, of course, which do come on the figure out of the packaging. And then we do get a pair of regular gripping hands, and the thumb isn't molded together to the fingers, so that's definitely a good thing. Then we do get another pair of gripping hands where he's holding the lance on an angle. The left hand, though, the index and middle finger are splayed out a little bit. Then on the bottom here, we get another pair of kind of gripping hands, but he doesn't technically grip onto the lance, but you could have him like hold onto it, but he won't grip onto it, you know what I mean? And then finally, we do get a pair of open, splayed out hands, and we get some very nice sculpt detail throughout all 10 hands. And the hands are easy to swap out, but sometimes the wrist peg will pop off with them. It's very simple to get the wrist peg out though, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with Lancer. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Sir Lancington. To the very top of his hair, it looks like he's around 6 inches and 1/4 of an inch tall. And then here he is compared to the Figma Goblin Slayer, the Figma Griffith, the SH Figuarts Endgame Captain America, and the Mezco 112 Silver Knight Batman. And then here he is compared to the Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Gambit, the Mafex Justice League Aquaman, the SH Figuarts Madara Uchiha, and the NECA Original Movie TMNT Shredder. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectible Smoke, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku, and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and we get fantastic movement throughout the entire figure. So as I mentioned before, the ponytail is articulated. It's on a ball hinge, so it can hinge up and down, and it can swivel as well. You can move it all around, so great articulation with that piece there. And we do get 2 joints at the neck here. The upper neck joint, you can get Lancer to look up. Really good amount with that joint there. Does look down decently with the upper neck. Then you do get pretty good pivot there, actually. Whoa, really good pivot. I didn't realize it moved that much. And then it does swivel as well. The lower neck doesn't go back at all, but it does go forward a little bit. So combining both joints can get them to look down pretty much all the way. Really don't get pivot at the lower neck, and swivels a tiny bit, not too much. So very nice movement at both those neck joints. And we do get a point of articulation at the torso around the abdomen, and then one at the waist. So the torso here goes forward really well, also goes back decently. You see a tiny gap there, so you might want to hide that. But is it on a barbell type joint? I don't believe it is. It might be actually, but you do get some very nice forward and back movement with that joint. Excellent pivot, and then it does swivel as well. The waist here goes forward and back pretty well, so combining both joints, he crunches forward really good, and then combining both joints going back, he goes back really good. Also, you get very nice pivot at the waist, so combining the pivot with both joints, excellent pivot there, and then you do get swivel as well. And then the shoulder pad pieces, or the armor on the shoulder, can swivel a little bit. They can move up and down and pivot as well, so you can articulate those around a little bit. And then the arms here, they're on like it's on a ball peg that connects to the arm, and then we do have the hinge that connects to the body right there. So you're going to get excellent arm articulation with this figure here. You can bring his arms across his body, so you could have him cross his arms and stuff. So great shoulder or arm movement right here with Lancer. And then the arms, whoops, the arms do go out to the sides. Let's see, a lot more than 90 degrees, so definitely a nice outward arm movement. They do go up and down. We do have true bicep swivel, and it can swivel where the joint connects into the arm right there as well. Then we do have single jointed elbows that do bend in almost all the way, and then the joint does swivel where it connects into the bicep, and it does swivel where it connects into the forearm. Then we do have the ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. So excellent movement throughout the entire arm all the way down to the wrist there. Now for the legs here, Lancer can kick forward a lot more than 90 degrees, so that's definitely dope. goes to the back about 45 degrees. Let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it, and I'm pretty sure he can, and he pretty much can Jean-Claude Van Damme it. Excellent leg movement with Lancer here. Then we do get the hip swivel there. We do have double jointed knees that bend back all the way, and then the ankles here, they do swivel. They hinge up really well, hinge down really well, and then you get a beautiful 90-degree bend ankle pivot along with a toe hinge. So excellent articulation from head to toe on Lancer here. You're going to be able to get him into any type of pose you want to get him into, and I'm going to show you some of those dope poses right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the Max Factory Figma Lancer. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I definitely have to give it a perfecto 10. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did have to get mine off eBay because this figure is pretty much sold out everywhere. But you can always check with Agelessgeeks. Sometimes he gets older figures in stock. So if you can't find something on the website, Agelessgeeks.com, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Warning, blah 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 blah, and then on the bottom here says Figma, Chubby Choo, and Chibbity Chibbity Cha. Then we do get a cool image of the figure, top of the box. Pretty much same thing, just a and we do get a cool image of the figure. Pretty much same thing on the top, just a different area. Blah 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 blah. That's the second time I messed that up, you bastard. Damn. The Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi Gambit D. Wow, that's not SH Figure Arts. Amazing Yamaguchi Gambit, the Mafex. Moving on to the accessories, Lancer is included with some basic type of a. And starting on the left, we do get a. And starting on the left, we do. And starting on the left, we do get like a. Damn. We get the same exact face, but this time he's winking with one eye open, one man. And then on the bottom here, we do get a. There we go, the arms. God damn you, Lancer, you bastard.